Hello everyone and welcome back to the Tualatin Public Library's Trivia Time. I'm your host, Doug, and let's go ahead and get started. What we have for you today is 2 rounds of trivia, each with 8 questions each, and at the end of the 2 rounds, I will take a little second and then I'm going to read you guys the answers. So, as always, if you need to rewind the video, pause it, go back and reread the question, obviously totally okay. And here we go. Round one. Round one is called Weird Sports. So we have some trivia about some slightly more obscure sports and sporting terms. Number one, a 1 over par in golf is called. What is a 1 over par in golf? And number two, which sport has the positions wicket keeper and bowler? Wicket keeper and bowler, terms that come from which sport? In soccer, this is number three. In soccer, when you flip over backward and kick the ball that is over your head, this is called a what? What is the term for flipping over backward and kicking the ball over your head? Number four. This skateboarding legend was the first person to successfully perform a 900. That is spinning 2.5 times while in the air before landing. The first person to pull off this trick. Number five. The grand champions of this sport are referred to as yokozuna. The grand champions of this sport are referred to as yokozuna. Number six. This is the area where the relief pitchers warm up before entering the game. The area where relief pitchers warm up before entering the game. And number seven, when you bowl 3 strikes in a row, it is called a, what's the term for bowling 3 strikes in a row? Number eight, an epee, foil, and saber are all pieces of equipment used in which sport? An epee, foil, and saber are used in which sport? Okay, and we're going to move on to round number two. Round number two is called I'm on a Boat, and it's nautical trivia, as you may have guessed. Here we go. Number one. This is a nautical term that means the intentional sinking of a ship by letting water flow into the hull. The intentional sinking of a ship, a nautical term. Number two. This battleship was sunk during the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. It was the only ship not raised from the ocean, and it eventually became a war memorial which is visited by over 2 million people a year. A battleship that was sunk during the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor and turned into a war memorial. And here we go, number three. This comedic opera was written by Arthur Sullivan and takes place aboard an English ship where the captain's daughter falls in love with a lower-class soldier despite her father's wishes. A comedic opera written by Arthur Sullivan. Number four. In 1915, German U-boats sank this British ship, killing over 1,000 people, including over 100 Americans, causing a national outrage that contributed to America eventually declaring war on Germany in World War I. Okay, number five. In 17th century European nautical lore, this ghost ship can never make port and is doomed to sail the seas forever. A 7th century European nautical lore tale. And number six, this former British ocean liner is now permanently moored at the port of Long Beach, California, and is now a tourist attraction, restaurant, museum, and hotel. A former British ocean liner that's now moored at the port of Long Beach, California. Okay, number seven. In Herman Melville's novel Moby Dick, this whaling ship serves as the setting for the majority of the book. What's the name of the boat in Moby Dick, essentially? And number eight. This submarine is led by Captain Nemo in Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. What is the name of this submarine? Okay, and now we are moving on to the answers. So we're going back to round one, weird sports. Here are the answers. Once again, if you're not quite finished, rewind, pause, take as much time as you need because here come the answers. A 1 over par in golf is called a bogey. Wicketkeeper and bowler are positions that come from the sport of cricket. When you flip over backward and kick the ball over your head, it is called a bicycle kick. And the first person to successfully perform a 900 was Tony Hawk. And champions of sumo wrestling are referred to as yokozuna. And the area where relief pitchers warm up before entering the game is referred to as the bullpen. When you bowl 3 strikes in a row, it is called a turkey. And an épée, foil, and saber are pieces of equipment used in fencing. Fencing, they're swords. Okay, round 2, I'm on a boat. Nautical term for intentional sinking of a ship, scuttling. A battleship that was sunk during Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor and eventually turned into a war memorial, etc. The USS Arizona. Number 3, a comedic opera written by Arthur Sullivan is HMS Pinafore. And number 4, in 1915, German U-boats sank this British ship, the RMS Lusitania. And the 7th century European nautical ghost ship is the Flying Dutchman. And number 6, the Long Beach, California ocean liner that is now a restaurant, museum, hotel, etc., RMS Queen Mary. And the whaling ship that serves as most of the setting in Moby Dick is the Pequod. And number 8, the submarine piloted by Captain Nemo in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is the Nautilus. The Nautilus. So that wraps up the first round of trivia for this week. I will be back this Friday with 3 rounds of trivia for you. So in the meantime, enjoy these 2 and stay happy and healthy, and we will be back on Friday.